There are so many Dragonoids to choose from. We can only choose 3, and I got the 3 for you. So let's get into this deck profile. Brar626 here, and today we have a Dragonoid deck profile here for you guys today. So we have the 3 different Dragonoids that we're choosing that we did the battle video of against the Aurelus deck. If you want to see it, go on ahead and click the card in the right hand side, whichever side it is on here. I think it's that side there for you. Go ahead and click it so you guys can watch that video, so you guys can see how this deck works. This deck is actually really good. Now, in the video of the battle video, this deck did better in the testing than the actual recording video. I was testing this deck against the Aurelus deck, which was, of course, in that video. This Dragonoid deck beat it 4 times in a row, and I only did 4 testing battles. It was pretty good. So seeing Aurelus won the other 2 was kind of like, ooh. So, you know, hey, but this deck is still really good. So let's go ahead and see what we got in here. Of course, we have our 3 Dragonoids. We're using the Pyrus, the Aurelus, and the Ventus Dragonoid here. Now, the Pyrus Dragonoid has 200 B power, 5 damage, and he has a red fist and a green fist. Now, the cores I'm using with that is the red fist is plus 250 B power and plus 3 damage, because you want that good B power boost to get him in there. And then, of course, Dragonoids are all about damage, so you got to put that damage in there. And then the green fist is plus 150 B power and 2 damage. So that's going to get, of course, some more damage and some more B power boost on there as well. Then we have the Aurelus Dragonoid, has the blue shield and the red fist, 400 B power and 6 damage. Now the cores, of course, we're using is the B power of plus 600 for the blue shield. So that's going to get you a major B power boost. And then another 250 and plus 3 damage. So that's going to, of course, raise your odds there to get the your high B power, so you try to win those battles. Then we have the Ventus Dragonoid here, 2 Helix cores, and then of course 200 B power, 4 damage, and if you land on a Helix core, you get plus 400 B power. And of course the Helix cores we're using, 300 or plus 300 and plus 3 damage, so a little bit more than the red fist. So, which is not too bad, it's pretty good. And then of course it did Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike was just in here just in case if your opponent's using something that has minusing B power or minusing damage. This was going to help stop that, because you're going to be doing a lot of damage, so you don't want to get your damage reduced. So that was the only reason why we ran it in here. So let's go ahead and get these guys to the side here, and let's look at the Evo cards that we are using. So for the Pyrus Dragonoid, we're using 2 of the Hyper Dragonoids here. For 1 energy, 400 B power, 6 damage. If you land on a Fire Fist, plus 300 and plus 3 damage. Now we did this, we used this card, of course, in our Awesome Ones deck, because this is just a great Hyper Dragonoid. And of course, too, if you land on that Fire Fist, he's already going to be adding 550 now, and he'll be adding 6 damage. So you're going to be at 950 B power and 12 damage. Whoo, that's some good damage going in from that Dragonoid there. So yeah, so that's really good. And we want to get him early game, so we wanted to run 2 copies of that. Then we ran 2 copies of Titan Dragonoid for 5 energies, 1000 B power, 6 damage, and he automatically gets a double strike. And if you control Dan Akuso, 3000 B power. I said that, 3000 B power, and we run 2 Dankusos, so you know, hey, we're going to be getting that 3000 B power, hopefully anyway. So yeah, so we run that, and then of course we wanted to try to see him a lot, and of course, like I said, we ran a bunch of Dankusos, so we wanted to, of course, run Titan Dragonoid, because you know, you gotta win with Titan Dragonoid, and getting that double strike, 12 damage already, and with that B power boost, and if you land on any core, I mean, the max 3, you're gonna be doing 9, so 18, because you just get double strike off of it, and at 1200 B power, or 1250 B power. That is crazy what we got there. Then, of course, we have the Aurelus Dragonoid for 1 energy, 600 B power, and 8 damage. So it does boost him up a decent amount there. Of course, it's for 1 energy. So quick, easy going in and trying to get some good higher boosting onto him as well. Then we ran 2 2 Hyper Dragonoid in the Ventus faction here for 3 energies, plus 400 beat power, 6 damage. And if you land on a Helix core, which is either one you want, you get plus 400 beat power. So just the same thing ability as the normal one, just as an Evo card. And if you win a battle, you get a draw card. So it helps you get you some draws in there as well. So yeah, so that is the Evo cards that we have here. So we're gonna go move those to the side, and let's go on ahead and get into our action cards, because these are pretty cool. Now we run 3 Toxify here. The 3 Toxify, of course, 0 energies, minus 3 damage. So you're, in case if you do lose the battle, you at least have Toxify to kind of reduce some of that damage that you will be taking there. Now for our 1 energy cost cards, we have 2 Fireball for 1 energy plus 3 damage. So of course this is going to help you get that damage boost going into the game. Turn 1, need to go to add more damage. Do Fireball, add more damage for you. So it's going to be really good. Then we ran 3 Sifting Ashes for 1 energy, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Of course this is a blessing and a curse. You may want to hold on to this or know when to use this card, because of course you're going to be drawing 2. That means you're going to be discarding 2. So you're basically getting 2 cards in your hand, but that's also losing points or life points per se in your deck. So you'll be losing some damage, or so you basically taking whatever else more. So like in the case of when the battle, my dad used Sifting Ashes and he only had 2 cards left in his deck. If he used those, if he didn't have that, he would have saved himself. So it's, you kind of got to know when to use it going in. So yeah, so there's that. Then we run 1 Nature's Power. Now this is one of the cards I was talking about when we did the battle video, that these decks are not to their full potential. These decks could be a whole lot better. I just don't have the cards for it. So like Nature's Power, I only have 1 copy of. Well, I actually have more. They're just in another deck, and I didn't want to take them out for this because I want to keep those decks together. So I used this. So we did the 1 Nature's Power, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the cards that we kind of changed out for it. And that was going to be Piercing Scream. I ran 3 copies of this just to help reduce that B power, because that's basically what Nature's Power does, is reduces a non-Ventus Bakugan by 500 B power. And this guy in the background, I don't know if you can hear it, but this guy over here is working on his pool. Been working on it for 5 months already. Still not finished. So if you hear this noise in the background, it's this guy working on his pool. Not done yet. Making a pool, you know, hey, maybe he will let me come over and swim his pool. Who knows? But yeah, so the Piercing Scream, of course, does the minus 400, so it's not as strong. Of course, the Nature's Power is 1 energy. Piercing Scream is 2 energy, so you're kind of like, ugh. But once I get more Nature's Power, there'll be 3 Nature's Power. And then, of course, our next card is, of course, Venom Blast. 1 energy, minus 4 damage. And the 3rd Piercing Scream is going to go for the 3rd Venom Blast as well. So those are the cards I'm switching in. Is that Piercing Scream, for Nature's Power, and Venom Blast there. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of switching. May work, may not, but that's basically what I want to do to it. Then we have our 2 energy cost cards, which is 3 Fire Boost for 2 energies plus 400 B power. So this is going to give you some good B power boosting onto that. Then one of these star cards in this deck is 3 Might of Syndius for 2 energies plus 1 damage, and in this turn the victor is decided by the highest damage, not the B power. So you could have, let's say, this Dragonoid here, 6 damage, your opponent has a damage of 3, oh, you win, even though if they have 600 B power. I know, right? Pretty good. And you get your damage up really high fairly quickly with some of these cards, especially with the Pyrus Dragonoid and his evolution cards. It gets his damage up really high. And then we run 2 Hot Potato for 2 energies. Remove an enemy Bakugan's Baku Core and negate the effect, and return the Baku Core to the field face down. So this is going to like help reduce their boosting of their cores like they have. So like if they landed on your Shadow Strike, you can hit this and destroy that, return it back to the field, and you can reduce their damage. So yeah, it works whichever way you want. Then of course, Inferno Wings for our last card. This is the only 3 energy cost we have, plus 300 B power, and remove all Bahu cores your enemy has, and negate their effects. just remove them. It basically does a hot potato, but it destroys all of them instead of just one. So yeah, so it's really, really good there. And it comes in clutch too when you really need it. Good for like a team attack, trying to go against a team attack there. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get to our flip cards here. And of course, we run 3 block outsiders here. The 3 block outsiders, of course, 3 energy stopping on Pyrus Bakugan. So that's really good there. And of course, 3 repel outsiders, stop non-Ventus Bakugan. So basically, this is going to help just cover your basic stuff there. I didn't run any other ones. These are the only 6 flip cards I run in the deck because I wanted to try to make sure I had action cards over flip cards in the deck. So yeah, so those are those there. And of course, our hero cards. Now, of course, we ran Titan Dragonoid. So that means we got to run Dan Kuso, my boy Dan Kuso. 4 energies. When you open a Bakugan, you can play the top card of your deck face up for free. As long as it's not a flip card. Because flip cards can't be played. Yeah, so Dan Kuso. Fantastic card. You don't have one? Get one, because you're going to need it. And then our last card is Mac. For 4 energies, when you play this turn, the victor is decided by damage, not B power. Same thing as Midas Cindy's, but as a hero card, and your Bakugan gets plus 2 damage. So you know, hey, it works out really good. Now, if Mac was able to do, as long as it's up, the damage wins instead of B power, oh, I think I'll be running more Mac in this deck if it was. But no, it only does it for that turn. I wish it did it for the whole entire game until you destroy him. As long as he's face up on the field, that would be sick and crazy. Oh my gosh, that would be like absolutely crazy. Some crazy B-powered decks or damage decks are going to be going in with that. That would be ridiculous what they do. So yeah, so that is the Dragonoid deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to click that like button down below. And if you're new, go ahead and click that subscribe button and become a cousin in our family. And make sure you click that bell icon down below so you guys get notified of when I upload videos just like this one here, because we got another deck profile, the Nilius deck here. That will be the next deck profile I'll be doing, so get notified of when I upload that video here. So remember, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. And I will see you all next time. Bye!